Listen to the rain on the roof go.
Pit, pitty, pat.
Pit, pitty, pat, pitty, sick kitty cat. We won't be home for hours. Relax and
listen to the rain on the roof go.
plunk, plank, a plank.
Plunk, plank, a plank.
Plankle, let's have a drink and shelter from the showers. Rain, rain, don't go away. Fill up the skies. Rain through the night. We'll stay cozy and dry. Listen to the rain on the roof go.
Pit, pitty, pat.
Plunk a plank, plank. Pity that it's not a hurricane. Listen, plink to the lovely rain.
It is an old song that we used to sing together a lot.
You ready for some April showers? Welcome back to One Can Hope. I'm Eleisha, refillery owner and low-waste lifestyle advocate.
And I'm Ali, upcycling enthusiast and content creator.
Today we're talking about water conservation, because April showers shouldn't leave us drowning in wasted water.
We've got tips for reducing your water use indoors and out. Plus, ways to collect this precious resource for reuse.
And of course, we will sprinkle in some landscaping ideas to help your Mayflowers bloom beautifully. One can hope.
Hi.
We're your weather girls.
Uh-huh.
And have we got some facts for you?
Better listen.
It's a rain and facts.
So we do have some facts.
Hallelujah.
Here are some stats from the EPA and the USGS, which is the United States Geological Survey.
Okay.
The average American uses 82 gallons of water a day at home. That's like filling up 1,312 cups of coffee, or a lot of really tiny baths. Like bird baths?
Cups of coffee or tiny bathtubs?
That's what I have in my notes. Not everyone could picture a coffee cup, so I wanted to give another visual. Like a little bird bath.
How many tiny bird baths?
1,312.
Okay. And that's just a typical day?
Yeah, average day for an American at home. That's a lot.
Okay. Average American indoor and outdoor water use.
Yeah.
Outdoor water use can account for up to 60% of home water usage in arid regions. I'm assuming because people are watering their lawn.
Right.
Or their outdoor plants. Or making sure the birds have enough bath water.
Filling up the bird baths.
But then the other really staggering fact is that inefficient irrigation can waste up to 25,000 gallons annually per household.
Whoa.
Not only inefficient irrigation, but can I just tell you, last year, I noticed our water bill was like creeping up, like oddly so. I checked all the pipes, checked all the faucets, nothing was wrong. But it was like the amount of water being wasted was insane. Turned out it was the water main leading from the city water to our house. So a ton of wasted water, which is super painful. It's not like you could see it on the surface. I'm guessing because of the bedrock that we're on. So I had to rip that whole thing out and replace the water line. But what I will say is I'm very grateful that my water wasn't just on auto pay in that instance. I still pay digitally, but I always get a notification of the amount so that I can always make sure that I'm not just paying an exorbitant amount of money and not realizing whenever there's waste.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And that's just the beginning of some of the water wisdom you're going to get in today's episode.
Yeah, that really kicks off our first tip, which is to not have a leak in your main water line. That's going to waste a lot of water. It's important to note that water conservation is so important.
It's a limited resource.
Because it's a limited resource. And although you look at our globe and you think, oh, we're covered in water, we're fine. That's
salt water.
That's mostly salt water that you're seeing. And it takes a lot to make salt water drinkable.
To desalinate it? Is it even possible?
I think it's possible, but it's a very intense process. And fresh water needed for both human consumption, irrigation. It's necessary. Like most of our body is made of water, and it's running out because the planet's warming, and we gotta make sure we conserve every drop.
Not just that the planet's warming, but it is being wasted. There's a lot of water that's being wasted or that's being dumped into salt water, or a lot of the water is also being polluted. So
Right.
our freshwater resources are being polluted, or it's being bottled up by plastic bottle companies and sold to us as clean drinking water.
We recently had a guest that came to stay the weekend and brought their own case of plastic bottled water. And we're like, we have filtered water, and also tap water is more regulated than this bottled water.
Was the idea that they're just used to it as a habit situation?
I don't really know why you would do that.
Okay.
Water conservation is more than just taking shorter showers. It's about rethinking how we use water indoors and out.
But the length of your showers are important. I'm going to be honest. I really struggle with short showers
Same.
because it's whenever I think about the most things and I totally get lost and I lose track of time and it's not good.
For me, it's not even that. It's more of, especially right now, my body's so uncomfortable and achy that I get such relief from a hot shower. And also, there are no tiny humans talking to me or around me. And it's just quiet and warm. And
Relaxing. I hear you.
this is my, what's the word?
Sure.
Something that I should be better about, but I have a really hard time with.
Yeah, this is a struggle for me for sure. My best ideas come to me when I'm in the shower.
I'm the opposite. My brain turns off in the shower.
But if we were just to take 2 minutes off of our showers every day.
Well, right, because the average person takes about a 7-minute shower.
Okay.
Taking 2 minutes off of that, so a 5-minute shower, would save up to 1,500 gallons per person per year.
Right. I know I got to get better.
Well, I don't shower every day,
Okay.
so then I can at least double up. Like a 10-minute.
I don't know. That seems like girl math.
It's fine.
Mm,
I shower twice a week, and they get to each be an hour long. Is that
I
not?
don't know. That's how it
Instead of showering twice a day for 5 minutes each.
works. You're like, I would have showered 5 times today, but since I didn't, I'm going to take an hour-long shower. One thing that I'm really trying to implement, and I just haven't done it yet just because I haven't thought of it, but I did have the idea while I was in the shower, is to actually have a song that plays that I know, like at this time, I do this part of the routine, and at this time, I do this part of the routine. Like at this time, I need to have my
Listen.
hair shampooed. At this point, I need my hair conditioned, like that kind of a thing.
I don't want to rain on your parade, but that's like an idea that people have had. And in fact,
Well,
I mean, I guess your idea is specific to one song.
I mean, I wasn't saying it was like my brilliant idea. I just am saying it occurred to me in the shower.
I did make a playlist of 5-minute songs, or around 5 minutes, for this,
Ooh,
so that you could try one.
you were holding out on me.
I didn't tell you.
Nope.
Oh,
I'm excited. Okay. Will it be on the One Can Hope
Yes.
Spotify podcast?
the One Can Hope Spotify with our other. We have
We have 2 other playlists, right? One for the Minder Bender
Mm-hmm.
from a few episodes ago, and then
one from the Breast Cancer Awareness Bra Drive.
that's right.
It's a Bra Drive playlist. So this one is all around 5-minute songs. If you want to try to challenge yourself.
Oh, so it's not the whole playlist.
You don't play. Well, I do. No, the goal is to do one shower per song.
Okay. You don't want to get into that second song
No,
until the
then
next
you're doubling
shower.
up. So enjoy the song,
Okay.
and then the next day you can do another song, or you can do Alicia's idea and play the same song every day. So you make sure you shampoo it this time. And then,
It
it's the second
reminds-
verse. I need to start shaving.
That reminds me whenever we used to wake up whenever I was staying with you in Shreveport when you had that apartment there. And every morning you woke up to find me somebody to love.
Yeah.
Find me somebody to love.
Yeah, and then every night I'd come home and we'd dance to Apple Bottom Jeans.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good times.
Yeah, so that would be a great way to save some water while you shower.
Or if you have kids, one thing you could do is like do a shower challenge where maybe it's like a race. Who could take the fastest shower?
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Mine are so young that there's a bath time. And
My
it's
business partner does that with her girls.
Oh, they have a race?
Yeah.
Is there an incentive beyond just being the quickest shower?
I don't think so.
Okay.
There could be though. Maybe get an extra minute on the weekends.
Here's what I would not give as an incentive. Bath crayons.
As
Those are-
established in that last
Those are
episode.
horrible. Horrible.
But at least they're out now.
They're... Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay, also, low flow shower heads can cut water use by 40%.
Easy switch out
It's
situation.
an easy fix. It probably takes a little getting used to. There's just
Not always. Because a lot of them, even though they're low flow, it just means they use less water. But it doesn't mean that there's less.
Oh, is that what low flow means?
Yeah.
I was being facetious.
Oh.
That's obviously the point. They use less water. I just wonder if water pressure is going to be as strong because that's part of what makes the shower so special.
Have you ever taken a shower at my house?
Maybe. One time. You know what? When that tree fell on our house, we stayed here for a little bit.
And how was the water pressure?
Oh, good.
Do you even remember?
No.
Exactly.
So I'm sure it was fine.
Yes. And it's all low flow.
Okay, great. I'm convinced. I'll try it. I just don't want anything to happen to my showers. We're doing...
They're already getting shorter.
I have to listen to the same song every day. We're doing an addition on our house. And so this is all good for me. I'm glad we're having these conversations now because I can, when we're changing up the bathrooms or adding bathrooms, I can think of all these things like the high efficiency toilet and the low flow shower head and
And the faucets and all that.
all of that.
Yeah.
Another thing you could do while the water is heating up is to collect it and water plants with it.
Yes.
I haven't done this, but I should. Our water heats up almost immediately, so it never feels like in my old apartment in Brooklyn, you would start it, cook dinner, take the dogs for a walk, and then maybe when you got back, it was warm.
Man.
No, it wasn't that crazy, but
Sure.
Anyway, our water now we turn it on and it feels basically hot. But we do keep like if we boil noodles or potatoes or something and don't salt the water, I save that to water plants.
Great. Other water saving tips. Leaky faucets. Obviously a problem.
Yeah, and not just busted plumbing situation necessarily.
No, like just that little drip.
Drip, drip.
A leaky faucet dripping at 1 drop per second can waste over 3,000 gallons per year.
Whoa.
That's just one little drop. So even though, I mean, other than the fact that it's just annoying to hear it drop all the time, really is actually wasting a huge amount of water.
This is a really interesting metaphor for the sustainable lifestyle, right? And being low waste.
Yeah, like every drop,
Because people will be like, oh, that's just a drop in the bucket. But
Mm.
yeah, maybe it's just one drop. But imagine if we all dropped.
be 3,000 gallons every year
That's a
per
lot.
person.
Assuming you have a leaky faucet. We've definitely mentioned this in other episodes. Your favorite episode, the dishwasher one.
Yay.
My favorite, the laundry. Running full loads is a big way to save water.
And then taking it back to the bathroom when you brush your teeth or wash your hands, turning the water off between when you're like soaping up with your hands or when you're brushing your teeth for the 2 minutes that are recommended by the American Dental Association. Saves a huge amount of water.
Yes. Also, if you're hand washing dishes, which we're doing, you turn the water off while you're scrubbing and then rinse.
Yeah.
And don't
Have yourself
keep
a
the
little
water running
tub.
the whole time.
We have so many tips in past episodes, so if you need a little refresher,
Start from the beginning. Just listen to all of them.
but not during one shower.
They're all too long for one shower unless you're only showering once per week. Then you're allowed to listen to a whole episode. Let's move this party outside.
Great. You know how outdoorsy I am.
Rain barrels. Do you have one?
I don't.
I don't either, but only
I
because
don't really
we haven't
do
set it
any
up yet.
watering outside the house.
That's good. You've set up a nice lawn
I have
that doesn't require
not
watering.
done anything.
I need to set one up for our future garden. We don't have much that we need to water outside, so it hasn't been a priority.
Well, because we both mostly have native plants.
Yes, and we, at this point especially, choose native plants because they don't usually require as much maintenance. I know when you were planting your backyard, you were like, I need to just not ever have to do anything with it.
It's true. Like sustainability, again, I need a sustainable lawn care practice, and that means it just thrives and does its own thing.
I see so many people when the topic of rainwater collection comes up, a lot of people think that it's illegal.
Right.
I don't know. It's a common misconception, and it's not illegal in any of the 50 states. There are some places that have regulations about maybe how much you can catch or how much rainwater you can catch or things like that. But in a lot of states, it's encouraged. And there are even like state-based websites that help you set up a rain catchment system.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Check with your local regulations or your state regulations. But it's not illegal anywhere.
And the benefit of having the rain barrel is you're able to collect water to water, like you said, your garden or your...
You can feed your chickens or water your chickens with it. You could water your...
Fill bird baths.
Yeah, and so then you don't have to tap into your house water. When we do eventually have a vegetable garden, we'll have to stay on top of that. And we'll just use our rain barrel to water it. Typically, what that looks like is you've got a giant barrel. Think a huge trash can or something that's set up at the bottom
of your gutter, right?
Of your gutter. So that the downspout pours directly into whatever container you have.
Whether it's like a big drum.
Yeah, we've been waiting for an old wooden bourbon barrel. We're trying to not have that much plastic.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been keeping an eye out on Facebook Marketplace.
Also for people who wash their cars.
Oh man, it's hard to imagine.
I prefer the traditional wash me written on the car.
I just like the matte look of the pollen on top of the paint.
While I don't water a lot outdoors, the few exceptions to that are if I've just planted a new tree, which usually if I plant a tree, I try to do it in August whenever the tree is going dormant anyway for the winter. And it just doesn't need as much water. And usually around that time of year, it's already raining a lot. But one thing that's always suggested is to water either early in the morning or late in the evening. That way you're not risking evaporation of the water,
right,
but also not burning leaves because water can sometimes act as like a magnifier of the sunlight.
Huh. Also, I learned when we were doing our vegetable garden in our old place, you water the roots. You don't like shower the whole plant.
Right, exactly.
Which is more efficient. You know what you can also do, especially around trees? You can cover it with mulch or do a mulch sort of donut around the tree.
Exactly.
And that helps
keep water in.
Yes.
And mulch, I know that for us, mulch is totally free. The township provides it every year. It's chipped up from downed trees throughout the year. There's even a website online that can help you find free mulch.
It's hard to imagine even considering buying mulch where we live because there's piles of mulch everywhere. We had a couple big trees that had to be taken down because they were dead and dangerous to the house. So we have piles of mulch. And then we came home the other day and there were tire marks in the yard and a new pile of mulch.
No.
We were like...
Someone just thought it was a mulch drop-off spot.
I don't really know if it was like a neighbor that thought, oh, they like mulch or what.
That's hilarious.
But we have this insane pile of mulch. We're like, okay, well, We'll use it, I guess, somewhere.
Also, we did talk about native plants. If you're planting native plants, they are more accustomed to,
Your specific landscape and soil.
in your specific zone. If you live in a more arid region, your native plants are going to be okay with not getting a ton of water. If you live in a tropical region, your plants are going to require a lot of water. And so by planting native, going back to my whole thing about having a sustainable garden, it's not just so that it's sustainable to the earth and to the creatures living on it, but also so that I don't really have to take care of it, really, like at all.
But it is worthy to note that it's great for the ecosystem, the local
Hugely
ecosystem,
beneficial.
and the bugs. I mean, the bugs are big.
They're important.
Not physically big, but they're very important.
No.
Unless you were
and
shrunk.
birds, right? Like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah, birds, bugs,
All of it.
worms.
It's a trickle down effect, if you will.
Because of water.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, we do have a lawn, not by choice. It's not like I've done anything to have a lawn. It was just there when we moved in, and because we live near a golf course, the lawn seed, I guess, has flown over by birds. And so the type of grass that we have is the same kind of grass that the golf course would usually have.
Do you
It's like a
think
really
the birds
thick.
eat it and then poop it? Like
Yeah.
poop out the seeds in
Yeah.
your yard? Okay.
Yes, that's my guess. Because I don't know why else we would have had like patches of this golf course grass. Regardless, in learning all about the grass, I realized that you have cool season grasses and warm season grasses. And the reason I noticed the difference in our own yard was because the golf course grass was like a dark, like it died over the winter. And I learned that one of the reasons that people have to water their grass so much is because they're planting grasses that will still be green during the winter. And so you're having to try and trick the grass seed into thinking that it's always cool so that it never becomes brown and dormant. But watering a lawn for 20 minutes a day is equal to taking 800 showers. But if you get an appropriate grass, then yes, it will die in the winter, but it comes back in the spring green and lovely. So as long as you're okay with it, it's actually really pretty. It almost has like a light, like an off-white color.
I like the wildflower lawns that have
Same.
slowly started to rise in popularity.
The pollinator gardens.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I like most of our yard is full of wildflowers. We have a patch that we mow paths through the wildflowers that are fun to run through, and then we have a patch that we mow for the kids to play in. But then the rest is like bee balm and bergamot and goldenrod, and it's so pretty, and the butterflies love it and the bees love it. If you go out there, it's just covered in 10 different kinds of bees.
Love it. There are a couple of other water conservation efforts that aren't necessarily front of mind, but make a big splash.
Okay, cute.
Eating lower on the food chain. Eating
Bugs.
I mean, I wasn't necessarily saying bugs,
Okay.
but a day a week or more where you aren't eating meat.
We've been trying to do a 50% vegetarian-based diet. Like 50% of our meals be vegetarian.
Because it takes over 1,800 gallons of water just to produce 1 pound of beef.
Also, the fashion industry, all of our clothes require water to be made. For instance, it takes 2,000 gallons of water just to make one pair of blue jeans.
So again, shopping secondhand is a great way to try and minimize that water usage.
Just buying a pair of jeans and wearing them
Forever.
for your entire life is great. And that's jeans, which use probably more than the average textiles water, but every textile requires water. Cotton requires water to be processed into a textile.
Also to be grown.
To be grown.
Yes. Keeping with the clothing, the less you're washing, the more water you're saving. So re-wearing those clothes that aren't really dirty, that don't stink or have stains, wearing them a couple more times.
We talked about it before, but deleting your emails that you don't need. I mean, we have a water conservation tip in almost every episode because sort of everything ties back to water.
Again, a limited resource.
All right.
that we need to live. So the more that we can minimize the usage of it on things that don't keep us alive, the better.
Yeah. And that's a wrap on today's dive into water conservation. Thanks for wading through it with us.
Whether you're swapping your shower head, setting up a rain barrel, or simply turning off the water while you're brushing your teeth, remember small streams make mighty rivers.
So don't let your efforts drizzle out.
Because even the smallest drop can start a ripple of change.
One can hope.